Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're diving straight into a massive, notorious headache in the enterprise tech world. I'm talking about the painful process of building AI agents for enterprise ERPs, specifically when it comes to SAP. If you've ever tried to hook up modern AI tools to legacy SAP landscapes, you already know the drill. It usually means months of agonizing API enablement and setting up some really heavy middleware. But today we are looking at a real game changer that completely flips that dynamic. It's called Pillir Flow, and it acts as a Kiro Power for SAP. We're going to break down exactly how this transforms the way development teams interact with SAP environments from the ground up. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll meet the Pillir Flow Power. Second, we're going to peek under the hood and see exactly how the integration works. Third, we'll explore this fascinating concept of instructions, not data exchange. And finally, we'll look at how this is fully ready for real messy SAP landscapes. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Meet the Pillir Flow Power. Okay, so if you're an enterprise developer or an IT architect, you might be wondering, what exactly is a Kiro Power, and why should you even care? Well, let's start with Kyro itself. It's AWS's agentic IDE for spec-driven development. Basically, developers just naturally describe what they want to build, and Kyro goes ahead and plans, builds, and ships it. But here's the catch. AI actually needs to know how to talk to the real world, right? That's where a Kiro Power comes in. It's essentially this neat package of pre-built technology expertise. It wires up Kyro to work against real, complex systems right from day one. It gives your dev team instant, real-world capability, so they aren't forced to start from scratch and write all that complex integration code themselves. There's this brilliant analogy from the source material that just hits the nail on the head. Pillar Flow does for SAP exactly what Stripe does for payments. Think about that for a second. When a developer wants to add payment processing to a new app, they absolutely do not build bank routing protocols from scratch. No way. They just drop in Stripe. Or, if they need a back-end database, they just drop in Supabase. Pillar Flow brings that exact same plug-and-play seamlessness to SAP execution. Any app or AI agent built in Kyro can now effortlessly execute governed transactions right inside your existing SAP landscape. Moving right along to Section 2, how the integration works. It's one thing to claim a tool is easy to use, but it's another to actually prove it. And this beautifully illustrates the mechanics. The architectural flow operates in 4 surprisingly linear steps, which, let's be honest, is a rarity in enterprise tech. Step 1, the developer just describes the outcome in Kyro. They spec it out, say, hey, when finance approves a request in Slack, create a purchase order in SAP. Step 2, Kyro calls Pillar Flow. Step 3, an SAP add-on executes that exact command. And Step 4, the real result returns. Let's actually zoom in on Steps 2 and 3, though, because that's where the real magic is happening. Okay, zooming in on Step 2. Once this power is active, Kyro automatically wires the build directly to Pillar Flow's MCP server. The massive takeaway here? There is absolutely no integration code to write. None. Your development team gets to entirely skip the complex, error-prone headache of writing custom integration scripts or standing up a clunky middleware layer just to get Kyro and SAP talking to each other. It literally just works. And for all the IT architects tuning in, Step 3 is basically your ultimate peace of mind. You're probably asking, how does this actually hit our core SAP system? Well, the Pillar Flow SAP add-on runs natively. It uses standard BOPI, RFC, or ABAP. So the really crucial point here is that it uses the exact same path and, more importantly, the exact same authorizations as a standard logged-in SAP user. This isn't some backdoor or rogue API integration. It ensures total production-grade governance over every single transaction. All right, let's pivot to Section 3. And honestly, the climax of this whole explainer. Instructions, not data exchange. This right here represents a massive security paradigm shift in how AI should talk to ERPs, and it's something every single enterprise needs to be paying attention to. See, most AI to ERP integrations operate on data exchange. They pull secure records like your vendor masters, your customer data, highly sensitive financials completely out of SAP. They process all that data in the AI agent and then try to push the results back. Every single round trip is dragging sensitive data outside your secure perimeter. It's incredibly risky, and frankly, it's leaky. Pillar Flow entirely flips the script by using work instructions. Instead of yanking data out, it just sends a command in. It says, create a PO for vendor X, or update customer Z's payment terms. The SAP add-on natively executes that instruction using your own existing business logic, and it simply returns a safe confirmation, like a PO number. I really want to share this exact quote from the source material because it is just so powerful. No PO, customer record, or financial detail ever leaves SAP by architecture, not policy. Really think about what that means for a second. You aren't just relying on some written compliance rule or a pinky promise to protect your data. The literal physical design of the system guarantees it. Your security perimeter remains entirely unbreached, while your AI agents still get to do all their heavy lifting. Which brings us to our final section, ready for real SAP landscapes. You know, it's really easy for software to look amazing in a pristine, perfectly clean sandbox environment. But let's talk about production-grade reality, where things are messy. Traditional SAP API integration is a huge roadblock. It usually demands middleware, strict OData enablement, and often requires a clean core or a massive system upgrade just to work. Pillar Flow sharply contrasts that. It's a day-one setup. It works on your legacy ECC or your modern S/4HANA exactly as they are running right now. And, beautifully, it effortlessly reaches all your custom Z-tables, user exits, and baddies. Your developers literally get to skip the dreaded SAP API enablement project entirely. So let's rapid-fire summarize these benefits because they are, quite honestly, a total game changer. 1. No massive SAP API projects required before your team can start building. 2. It runs on ECC or S/4HANA completely as is, no upgrade or clean core prerequisite needed. 3. It is explicitly built for real, heavily customized landscapes. That means it seamlessly interacts with your unique Z-tables and custom BPIs, not just the out-of-the-box standard objects. And finally, every single action features production-grade governance. It runs inside the calling user's authorization profile, it's fully audited, and it respects your approval gates. This isn't just for a fun demo, this is safe to ship to production. So what's the big takeaway from all this? I really want you to remember the rule of zero. Zero APIs to build first, zero middleware to stand up, and absolutely zero upgrades required to your existing SAP system to get started. You can literally go from writing a plain English spec in AWS Kyro to executing a fully governed, audited transaction in your real SAP landscape in a matter of days. Which leaves us with one final, pretty exciting thought to wrap up the explainer. If the barrier to entry has truly been lowered to zero, if you can go from a simple idea to a spec to a real executing SAP transaction in just Ds, what will your developers build first? Are we talking an automated Slack approval workflow? Maybe an intelligent inventory forecasting agent? The possibilities are suddenly wide open. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer on the Pillir Flow Kiro Power. I highly encourage you to dive deeper into this and see what it can unlock for your own dev teams. Keep learning, keep building, and I'll catch you on the next one.